Well, it's always great to be here. It's fitting that we're on top of the Space Needle when we're evolving this thing. Our fan base told us, first and foremost, the Space Needle is iconic, it's recognizable, and it's appealing. And so it's only fitting that it continues to be the anchor of our primary identity for the next 50 years. I woke up this morning with butterflies, kind of like I did when I was playing. This has been a 2-year process, and it was a little bit of a combination between feeling like the pride in the moment, but also the responsibility to make sure we got it right and ensure that it was representative of the community that's driven this process the whole time.
Taylor, why was it important to do it now, like today?
Yeah, it's a great question. So this club has always tried to provide sight lines in terms of what's coming next. And so a lot of conversations about celebrating the 50th anniversary have started already. We wanted this to have its own unique moment, but also have enough separation from the push to the postseason that the team is focused on, right? So it's about giving sightlines to our community just so they're not surprised in 2024, but also committing to hopefully put another star on top of this crest in 2024 for our 50th anniversary.
Taylor, your experiences as a player, you experienced the transition from USL to MLS, so you know part of the history of the Seattle Sounders. What can you tell me about that?
I am one of many players that came to the water's edge and decided to stay and make this my home. I fell in love with this club before it joined Major League Soccer, and Major League Soccer has been a huge part of my connection to this club. But to me, this is a historic day because it's only fitting that our brand and our brand identity is representative of all 4 eras of this club, not just Major League Soccer.
Was there any thought to putting a soccer ball or anything like that on the actual crest just to really bring it home?
Jada, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of logo designs, and ultimately it's the fan base that has their fingerprints on this. When we started this process 2 years ago, we approached it with the assumption that the identity or parts of the identity system were going to leak, and it didn't. We started this morning, and when it launched at 10 a.m., we got to confirm what it does and have all of the rich storytelling behind it. The fact that this system has been socialized to thousands of people and the fact that it didn't leak, to me, shows that they didn't just see the system, they felt like they built the system, and there was a pride and responsibility in making sure that it was protected and that it came out the way it did. So myself and others that have been working on behalf of the club have been more stewarding and steering the process and let the fans' insights and voice and preference drive this process. Our hope today is that the work exemplifies our commitment to good work and to further growth and excellence, but it's also committed in a process that's rooted in good work.
You, in the release, it mentioned 10,000 response
Yep.
to the survey. What were, outside of the Space Needle, what were some other things that were essential or universal across those 10,000?
Yeah, so when we asked our community which badge represents the soul and the spirit of this club, 71% of the fans picked the MLS badge. And it wasn't just our recent fans, it was fans dating back to all eras of the club. And when we asked them why it stood out, there were 2 things. One, the shape of the badge was unique and different and one of a kind across Major League Soccer. And number 2, the Space Needle symbolize a commitment to progress and excellence that puts the Pacific Northwest on the map. It's globally renowned, it's iconic, it's recognizable, and it's appealing. For those that didn't pick the Space Needle, it was the connection to the water and the waves and the orca. All of these elements in iconography are representative in our system, and so our fans picked what it is, and then we work with them to make sure the right pieces showed up at the right place.
Anybody want purple instead of green and blue?
Well, we're playing with the spectrum of blues and greens, and when we talked about color, fans, when we said, what is rave green to you, it didn't start with a Pantone. It started with a spirit and energy. And so that spirit and energy of rave green and Pacific blue will always be here. There's introduction of a new color, our heritage aqua. It's our history and heritage that's behind us. It makes us unique and different. We've been here longer than the Seahawks. We've been here longer than the Mariners. And next year is going to be the party of our parties, but it's not just a throwback. This is an intentional swing for growth. The next 4 years are going to be super exciting. Today was step 1, was having an evolved identity system. where anyone can come and be a part of this club. Step number 2 is to celebrate in the 50th anniversary. The FIFA Club World Cup coming to the States in 25, and we're going to be competing in a get it. I looked this morning to remind myself who's in there, some of the biggest clubs in the world, and the wind at our back is the World Cup. Major League Soccer was started after a commitment from the '94 World Cup. That was my first experience of seeing what global football could be. Going to a World Cup game in '94 with my dad, and to see what's going to happen in this sport and what it's going to do to this region and community. I'm excited to take my kids and share that same experience with them.
Can you tell us anything about what the kits will look like?
The kits will look like?
Yeah.
The kits are going to come out next year, February. We are really excited. It's going to have elements of modernity, but also some elements of heritage as part of it. It's going to feature our new identity, and there's a lot more storytelling and fun to come. But like our brand identity, our council, our Alliance Council, has helped us shape what we're doing and what story we want to tell, and then we'll have impact on how it comes to life next year.